I think your YouTube videos are very good, but when you're working on a trailer, it's just so different because you have so much less time.
This is Derek Liu, and other than having a much better lighting setup than me on this call, he's also one of the best video game trailer editors in the world, having created trailers for games like Half-Life Alyx, Psychonauts 2, and Noita, which I personally think is one of the all-time great video game trailers. And this is me, recording voiceover for my trailer by crawling into a sound booth I made out of tripods and a stained doona. Now, this may or may not be obvious, but I am not a professional video editor. I'm a solo game developer / sometimes YouTuber who has made a spooky cave diving roguelike that needs a new trailer. I do edit videos like this one, but trailers are not my strong suit at all. So here is the plan. I'm gonna get started on a trailer and just give it my best shot, and then Derek is gonna review my work. He's gonna give me some tips on how to improve, and together, we're all gonna learn from a master. So I wanted to do an explainer style trailer, which is where I narrate over the top of the gameplay. The thinking here was that it gives a more complete and clear picture of the game, and also, let's be real, all my videos do better when I find a way to sneak in a mention that I designed Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride. It works. Every time. So obviously the first thing to do was write a script and get the voice recording done to act as the foundation for the video. I recorded this in my incredibly professional sound booth, but it's kind of wild how much this plus a decent microphone improves the sound. Feed the Deep is a Lovecraftian roguelike, inspired by some of my favorite games, like Spelunky and Dome Keeper. Feed the Deep is a Lovecraftian roguelike, inspired by some of my favorite games, like Spelunky and Dome Keeper. Next, I pulled all of this into DaVinci Resolve and started doing an extremely rough blocking out of the trailer. The idea here is to just get an idea of how it flows together, how long the trailer is, and what kind of shots I might want to go with the voiceover. I pulled in some random shots from my existing trailer to see if any of them fit, but mostly I just add text blocks over the audio for what I think might be nice in that section. So after about 3 hours of work, it looks like this. Hi, my name is Luke, and a long time ago I was the creator of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride. But today, I want to show you my first game as a solo indie developer, Feed the Deep. Feed the Deep is a Lovecraftian roguelike inspired by some of my favourite games, like Spelunky and Dome Keeper. Tasked with Next up, I need to record a whole bunch of footage from the game to fill in all the text box shots. Having the list of shots already spec'd out, thanks to that blocking pass, makes this process so much easier and faster. I also re-recorded my voice again. Mostly this was to try and sound more excited in the voiceover. I always find this thing where when I'm recording a YouTube video like this, I feel like I have to overact to make myself seem more excited, because the video has a way of kind of flattening it out. If I don't try and consciously go over the top, it kind of ends up sounding like I'm really bored or something. It just really flattens out the performance. And the voiceover has that same kind of thing. You just gotta give it some oomph. So now, after 5 hours of work, I had the first version of the trailer done. I knew there were some rough edges, but I was showing this to Derek the next day, and I knew he would have a lot of great advice on things to change, so I didn't want to polish it too much. Here it is. Hi, my name is Luke, and a long time ago, I was the creator of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride. But today, I want to show you my first game as a solo indie developer. Feed the Deep is a Lovecraftian roguelike, inspired by some of my favourite games, like Spelunky and Dome Keeper. To protect the floating cities, you must dive into procedurally generated undersea caves, and feed the monster below. Along the way, you collect resources that can be traded for upgrades and items to dive deeper, managing dark spaces, limited oxygen, and hostile wildlife. I gotta admit, for 5 hours worth of work or whatever it was, I'm pretty happy with it. But now it's time to show it to Derek. And let me tell you, this was so helpful. I actually wish I had Derek's help making this video, because writing and editing a video about Writing and editing a video and then getting help on the editing and writing of a video is a lot. All right, let's listen to Derek's feedback.
All right, so I watched your trailer, and I think overall it's good. And the things that I'm going to recommend are first to help the clarity of what you're saying, and then second, make sure that the things that are cool about your game are actually being shown. I think a lot of people think editing is flashy effects and lens flares and flutter cuts, and most of it is just saying things in the right order, presenting things in the right order.
I was the creator of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride.
Here, you're talking about Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride, so you're not showing gameplay footage of that, either because you're not allowed to or you don't want to. When you have something like a voiceover and the shots aren't really gelling with it one-to-one, even in the most tenuous way, then I think that unconsciously says to the audience, I should pay attention to one or the other thing, because they're not working together. But if everything is matching, that also then facilitates the ability to cut faster and show more if everything's going down smooth.
Managing dark spaces, limited oxygen, and hostile wildlife.
So managing dark spaces is, I get it, but it could be clearer if it's more straightforward. So basically what you're saying is you can see further, right? So I would say something like, you collect resources that can be traded to upgrade items to help you dive deeper, like see further ahead and get more oxygen or have more oxygen. That's a little awkward, the phrasing, but you get the point. Because right now you're saying we're mitigating against this problem, as opposed to saying we have a solution and this is the thing that it does.
To protect the floating cities, you must dive into procedurally generated undersea caves and feed the monster below.
I think that you could bring the monster part at the beginning, because then this makes the pitch stronger. With that context, all those game mechanics become more interesting.
Inspired by some of my favorite games, like Spelunky and Dome Keeper.
This shot is so clear and kind of enticing, just because it's fun to collect gold. That I feel like this needs to be in the first like 5 to 10 seconds. I would pick and choose, if you can, when to show your reticle, because it's very distracting. Like, it's designed to be clear and to have your focus, because that's what you need for the game. But for the trailer, it's distracting. And some of these things, I mean, you could say in fewer words. So you could say, hi, my name is Luke, and I was the creator of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride, as opposed to a long time ago. People will know, like, oh yeah, I remember those games.
First game as a solo indie developer.
Like this part here, this is like a really pregnant pause. A lot of times I will use game sound effects as like punctuation. If you have like a complete thought, it's can be good to like just end in a sound effect. And also you have very ambient music, so it's much easier for you to do that. Usually I try to land those sound effects on the beats. So like, I was the creator of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride. Why can't I say that? Joyride, wow. I was the creator of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride sound effect. And just kind of like end that thought, because otherwise it's kind of dead air. And the rule of trailers is everything needs to butt up against each other. I can always tell when someone doesn't have quite as much experience editing trailers when the audio just cuts out at the end of a cut. Sometimes you also get like little audio pops, especially if you have sort of ambient humming noise. And so the way you get rid of those really quickly, so I'm going to add a transition here. And what I'm going to do is make this transition only 2 frames long. That's just if you want to get rid of little pops.
Feed the Deep releases on Steam August 16th. I hope you enjoy.
There are no deaths in this trailer, which is fine. That would say a very specific thing if there's deaths every few seconds. You don't necessarily want to make it look like, oh, I can just breeze through this game. Those will look tough. What's the point? And I think that you need your shots towards the end here to ramp up a little bit more, as far as just how visually interesting they are, how different they are from what came before. But I mean, I think your YouTube videos are very good, but when you're working on a trailer, it's just so different because you have so much less time. So everything matters, and it's not necessarily cut fast, but because everything just by the nature of the thing is shorter, that it's that much more important that everything's really clear and understandable and coheres. Like, it has to really be tight, and that's the thing with trailers.
So hopefully, as you can tell, this was super useful. Derek just had so many great tips and tweaks, and the crazy thing is, this is like a 4-minute long supercut of what was an hour-long call. And that's an hour of just dissecting a 1-minute long trailer. So based on all of Derek's feedback, I went back and made the trailer again. I re-recorded a lot of footage to get new shots that didn't have the HUD and the reticle in it. Ended up swapping out the music track in the end. I also re-recorded all the audio again to include the changes he'd mentioned, and again, try and just give it that little bit of oomph. And I made so many little tweaks here and there. Like, instead of saying, "Hi, my name is Luke," I shortened that down to, "Hi, my name's Luke," just to try and get it as tight as possible, like Derek had said. So now, let's watch the new and improved trailer while checking off all of the changes. Hi, my name's Luke, and I was the designer of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride. Today, I want to show you my first game as a solo indie developer. Feed the Deep is a Lovecraftian roguelike, where to protect the floating cities, you must feed the monster at the bottom of an undersea cave system. The caves are dark, dangerous, and procedurally generated. Getting lost and running out of air is a real risk. Luckily, the cave is full of resources to collect, so you can buy items to dive deeper, see further, and discover new areas. Each expedition has different equipment and objectives, meaning each plays differently. And there are so many things that I'm excited for players to find in the game, but I don't want to give too much away. Feed the Deep is coming soon. I hope you enjoy. And that's it. I don't know about you, but I think the new trailer is a really big improvement on my draft edit. And this trailer gets used everywhere. It was sent out to the media when the release date was announced, and it's the main trailer on the game's Steam page. Speaking of the Steam page, if you watched an entire video where you essentially watch my trailer like 3 times in a row and you don't already own the game, well, the game is available right now, and in fact, this video is timed to match up with a 20% discount that lasts for like 5 days, so now is a great time to go get it. Link in the description, blah, blah, blah. And I really can't thank Derek enough for his help. If you want to learn more awesome trailer editing advice and tips, you should go check out Derek's YouTube channel. That's right, he has a channel too, and it has so much great stuff on it. My favorites are the ones where he gets a video trailer that's just come out and then recuts it to make it better. That's it. That's the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Derek, again, and buy my game.